Mr. Vinod Lobo. We're so grateful to you for making time to be with us. He's the founder and the CEO of Learning Upgrade, which publishes online courses and smartphone apps to upskill underserved people with English, math, and job skills. He has brought together educators, musicians, artists, and programmers to produce innovative, engaging lessons designed for breakthrough growth. Through songs, video games, and educational research, Learning Upgrade has helped millions of students around the world to find a new path, learning success, a new path to learning success. Under his leadership, Learning Upgrade is the co-grand prize winner for the Barbara Bush Foundation Adult Literacy, and many other things that we can hear and learn about Mr. Vinod Lobo. Second, we have Ms. Melisa Magwizi, all the way from beautiful Zimbabwe. She's an IT professional and technology enthusiast with more than 17 years professional experience. We're excited. We have a woman leader in technology. We need more of that. She serves as an IT business analyst, and she is also the managing director of Chatcash, an IT startup specializing in artificial intelligence solutions for specific problems. She holds a bachelor's degree in computer and management information systems, a master of science in information systems, and many other incredible things. Thank you so much, Melisa, for being here. Last but not the least, Mr. Eyram Tawia. He is the CEO and co-founder of Leti Arts, the pioneer game development company in sub-Saharan Africa, leading the next wave of rich African storytelling via interactive games and comics, with a vision to shape a new generation of uniquely African content that reignites Africa's rich culture. He has more than 20 years of experience, and he has an incredible book entitled Uncompromising Passion, which we all need to get a chance to read. Well, we're excited to have you. So each of our panelists is going to have 7 minutes to present. And then after that, we're going to be taking some questions from them. Thank you very much, dear panelists. Over to you. First, Mr. Vinod, do you want to kindly start? Thank you.
Yes. Hello, everyone. It's wonderful to be with you. Thank you, Kofi, for inviting me to this amazing event. And hello to all of you out there that are alumni. Learning Upgrade is an organization created by my family to help educate people in poverty and crisis around the world. Our mission is very simple: to enable everyone everywhere to learn basic English, math, job skills for self-reliance. So Learning Upgrade has reached 3 million students around the world. And I love that you started this meeting and you start all your meetings with a song, because all Learning Upgrade education is through music, through songs. We have 500 original songs that teach everything from finance and digital literacy to math to English. And we like to say our lessons are filled with joy. They're video games, they're exciting, they're fun. People do them late into the night. Instead of doing TikTok and YouTube, they do Learning Upgrade lessons. We work with a variety of organizations in Africa, like African Education Program in Zambia, or the Ministry of Education in Liberia, or a Mango Tree in Kenya. And what we're doing in Africa is all about transitions. So many children do primary education in a local language and then suddenly have to do secondary in English. We help with that. So many youth and adults have trouble transitioning to higher education. They need digital skills, they need test prep, they need financial skills. So many adults need to transition to work. So we are helping in Africa with these transitions through our program. This is some of the places that we're working with around the world with refugees. And in particular with Rescue Wing in Africa, or with Shared Action Africa, Bluebird Soccer Academy in Uganda. And Bluebird is a great example, a small organization we work with in Uganda They actually take laptops out to soccer fields in a refugee camp and do learning upgrade lessons, singing and playing with all the children. So I want to talk to you all about AI leadership and how you implement AI as a leader in your organization. And the first thing I'd like to say is, right now, AI is in a crazy, crazy state. And everyone asking you, how are you implementing AI? What are you doing with AI? And people are doing things just so they can put a bullet in a PowerPoint and convince their board that they're doing something. But really, what we all need to be doing is using AI to meet the mission of our organization, to serve our customers, to meet our goals. And so for Learning Upgrade, our mission is to reach people in poverty and crisis with education, children and adults. So I want to give you an example. We identified 4 things that we could do right now with AI to make us help children get educated. Number 1, R&D, video language translation. We have 55,000 pieces of audio recorded in English. Everyone's asking us for Swahili translations and French translations, so many different things, and it's too difficult. But with AI now, we can create voiceover and in sync with video. People are asking us, why can't we talk to your programs? Why do we have to click buttons? And now AI is allowing us to accept people's speech. They can read a sentence and we can say, yes, you got it right. In Africa, many of our small partners, they don't have spreadsheets with lists of students that they can upload into our program. They have lists of students on paper. So why can't they take a picture of that and automatically put all their students into our program? That's AI. How about in sales? How do we find an organization in Kenya that helps out-of-school youth and then partner with them with ChatGPT? We write a prompt that says exactly how they can do that. So what we're realizing is that to be leaders in AI, we have to think about our mission and we have to find the exact solutions for our organization. So I want to say something a little out of the ordinary here. AI is very new, like internet was 20 years ago or mobile was 10 years ago with smartphones. And we don't know what we're doing yet. And so when you don't know what you're doing yet, you have to play. You have to experiment. Find someone on your team who's creative, who likes to try new things. Give them the freedom to actually go out and try ChatGPT or try AI image generators, to try text-to-speech technology, and let them have some freedom to fail. And if something succeeds, you can implement it. If not, drop it. And every year you can have a whole new strategy. That's what we need to do. Play, experiment, try new things. And finally, I'd like to say, why do we do AI at all? We have to keep in mind who we're trying to serve. For me, these are students at Mango Tree in Kenya at the school they run, which is in a refugee area. This is why we do AI at Learning Upgrade, for these students, to help them learn, to help them make a breakthrough in their lives. All right, thank you very much.
Very well said, Mr. Vinod. We're going to get back to you and take some questions, but we go to our next presenter in the person of Melisa. Melisa, please. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm just going to try and share my slides. There we go. I hope that's coming out clearly.
Yes. Thank you.
It's showing. Okay. So thank you so much, PALI. Thank you so much, Dr. Coffee, for this opportunity. So what I managed to bring about is just a couple of slides, just to bring everyone up to speed with what artificial intelligence for artificial intelligence for leaders is. And this is just a summary. It was very difficult to summarize everything in one go, but for the purposes of those who are still dabbling in trying to understand what artificial intelligence is about, it basically trying to get the computers to do what human machines, human intelligence, or people would normally do, human like tasks, but they would need some form of human intelligence to them. When we speak of that, what are we saying? We could speak about our conversations. We could speak about converting information from one state into another. We could look at analyzing data, you name it. AI is able to do all of that for us. And what I want to bring about for the leaders is to just maybe have a brief understanding of the commonly used AI applications. And we have your generative AI, where you can actually generate your text, images, your videos, and you've got your natural language processing, your voice. You can use chatbots. You've got virtual assistants, language translation systems. You've got your computer vision, your self-driving cars for your Tesla, for example. That's all AI and how it's being utilized. And then with all of that is happening, we've also got various use cases that we could apply AI for. If you've got products that you are offering as a company, you can actually use AI to actually improve, develop your products into smarter products. If you've got services, you develop them into smarter services. If you've got business processes, like for instance, you want people to onboard onto a certain platform, if you want people to make purchases, you can actually improve those processes using artificial intelligence. You could also automate your repetitive tasks. If you've got your invoice generation, your document classifications, you name it, it applies to basically any task that you want to apply to your organization. So the platforms that we use for AI, these are the generic ones that you could actually use. Your ChatGPT, your Microsoft Copilot, your Gemini, your PMI Infinity. These platforms allow you to feed those platforms with information, and they will give you some output. Could be for learning purposes, could be for fine-tuning your processes, could be data processes, you name it. And the most important is, how does AI support leaders? I think this is very key for all of the leaders who are in this forum. How can we use it to boost our business? How can we use it to aid us in whatever that we're working on? So the main thing is your data-driven decision making, where you've got for instance, if you want your finances, you want to do a quick analysis, you can share your statistics into an AI model, and it gives you an insight or feedback in terms of what trajectory or what outcome or what are the trends are happening within your business. You could punch in your sales data and all the information that you put it through for it to analyze for you. This amount of data that you would ideally maybe take weeks to generate, AI would actually generate for you in a very short space of time. You could actually use AI for process automation, where you automate your repetitive tasks, and you can also improve your decision making. If you're under pressure, you can just feed the AI model with your data, and it gives you information. And it also ultimately enhances your productivity. So if you want to stay ahead of the game, you want to be competitive within your business and drive organizational success, you could utilize those models. So how can we actually do that? I'll give an example of what we have done as Chatcash. So at Chatcash, we understood how AI works. It's still a learning curve, but we understood how AI worked in the sense of our main aim to drive inclusive business growth. Our first case study that we got was for an organization that is called the Small to Medium Enterprise Corporation of Zimbabwe, where they requested us to create a platform that would engage over 1 million subscribers or members in their institution. And we looked at ourselves as Chatcash, a small startup, a small company, and we realized, oh, there's no way we can interact with 1 million people. And that's when we realized we could actually use AI to create a conversational platform, which when presented to the members, it looks like a WhatsApp chatbot. It could connect to your website, could connect to your WhatsApp, and it speaks to the members. If there are any questions that they have, it would answer on our behalf and all of that, and right up until onboarding. So this conversational AI platform would interface with the backend system, and at the end of the day, members would onboard themselves to the platform and actually make payments for their subscriptions. And the goal for us as Chatcash was to just make sure that interaction between the enterprise that we're working with, SME CZ, and the subscribers or the customers was seamless in the fact that they would simulate like they would be speaking to another person, and right up until they conclude to say, yes, I'm happy with this, I can go ahead. Can I purchase this product? Can I subscribe? And what we realized is that in terms of one of our main deliverables and our goals for economic empowerment, we looked at it to say the SMEs make up 60% of the Zimbabwean economy, and it would actually be a platform for engaging with customers where you can convert all of your conversations into cash and into money that would be converted into profits to your business. And that's what we decided to do as Chatcash. And with that platform, we are marketing it to various institutions, various businesses, from small businesses to the large corporate. And this is how we have expanded and made use of the AI platforms to promote economic empowerment. And just for the information, our strategic partners, we've worked with SMECZ, and we also managed to, through our use of AI, managed to partner with Microsoft for Startups. And this has actually advanced our development of our product. It's a learning curve, as I've mentioned. We are still continuing with the development, and we want to fine-tune this product into something that can be usable across the globe. And just to conclude, leaders need to be wary of how AI needs to work for their business. And the key things that need to drive AI is business growth. You could use it for your business growth. You could use it to foster your innovation for your organization, competitiveness, and addressing societal challenges and solving problems, which is the key thing that AI is going to be useful for in the future. I hope this helps enlighten people about AI, and we look forward to hearing more from you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well done, well done. Africa is not just at the receiving end of AI. Africa is exporting AI around the world. We are proud of you. By the way, Melisa is one of our most recent graduates that just come out of the Professional Women's Leadership course here at PALI. So let's appreciate Melisa. Thank you so much, a PALI person herself. Last but not the least, he was a facilitator as part of our Leadership Immersion course in Ghana, and he's incredibly leading the way in the game industry. All right, let's invite Mr. Eyram. How are you, sir?
Can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes, please, we can.
All right. Okay, Doc, I'm fine. I'm fine. Sorry about that.
No
So
worries.
hello, everyone. My name is Eyram Tawia. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Leti Arts, which is one of Africa's first full-time game development companies. So I'll just dive in quickly into the gaming space, what we do with AI, and also dive deeper into how you can leverage AI in your day-to-day life as a leader. I think my former co-panelists have done a good job explaining what it is. So I'll just give you the fun aspect of it as well. So Leti Arts has been a strategic partner to leading companies. We provide gamification services and video games to most of these clients globally. And we were founded in 2009. We have offices in Ghana and Kenya. We have a franchise called Africa's Legends that has about almost $150,000 plus now. And it's also an award-winning company over the years pioneering the space. I think most of you will be asking, why games? Why games on the continent? But the thing is, games have been a long lasting passion, and that is me and my sister with my handheld Capcom game in 1992. I've been like a game junkie growing up and wondered when Africa will make that kind of contribution to the global pie. And I have a whole book written on it, so you can dive into that story later. But the main problem that we are fixing with video games, which is the cultural problem, is that we all face this with our current kids, right? You give them any African show or some content, they are like, oh, these are too lame. And it's just because of how well we present our rich stories. It's not very attractive to them just because American content is everywhere. And we all know these three guys. I use them because for me, they've actually brainwashed me. These were comics that I drew when I was a child, right? You could see a child in Kumasi, Ghana, drawing comics, but he's thinking Caucasian and thinking about Rome. I don't want this to happen in my lifetime. So I'm definitely wanting to change that. And we asked that, can African superheroes also have the same global impact? I think we saw that with Marvel, with Black Panther. So we also have Africa's Legends. You can download it now. It's on Play Store and App Store. The goal is to preserve Africa in beautiful formats. So we have Sweave that blends Kente patterns and African patterns with symbols in a very hyper-casual way. AI at play in games as well. And then we have Puzzle Scouts that takes you through a journey of adventure through Africa, through colonial era, finding stories. So these are the beautiful things that we do with African culture, and AI plays a big role in game development when it comes to play. So we also build games for corporate. As I said, this is one simulation game that was funded by GIZ, and this is a business simulation game for souvenir sellers that teaches you how to grow your business up into the CEO level. And it's all AI at play, which takes us into the next conversation. Why is this gaming thing relevant in Africa, right? Africa has over 55 countries, 1 billion plus people, yet gaming is not realized on the continent, right? As I said, but outside it's bigger than the movie, music, and now sports combined because of the esports component. And Africa is also very fragmented. And we also know that very soon we are going to be the youngest population globally. And devices, smart devices, we jumped over desktop straight into the mobile devices and going into the future. So Africa is the future. And if that happens, most of us, our stories have to be on these devices. So these are a lot of African gaming IPs springing up from a lot of African game studios now all over the world. Now, how do we use AI when it comes to video games? In games, it's a very technical field, yet 80% creative. So we have the arts and the sciences of games. And in the arts, in the world of games, you are the god creating your world. So in games, you are the god with your world. So you decouple your world from the real world, right? So anything that happens in a device. It has a creative side, which is the art. So just like God, you create your world. So we can say that God used Photoshop to paint the world, paint the earth, and do all that, just to relate it. And then you paint the weather. So the artist creates the world, the characters, and all that. So all these happen within the creative side of things. And I use some biblical texts to back that, right? So in the character creation, at that point, God said, let us make man in our own image. So he made it. Then he animated us. Then the programming side where artificial intelligence comes in, because when you are making a game, you definitely have to play with someone, right? And that is where we have been working with AI since the 80s. Video games have had AI. It's now that it has become a thing because it has come into the real world, right? So in games, we need to play with someone. So when you are making a game, you make the rules and then you make an AI play with you. And AI is just making machine think like a human, as the previous speaker said. So all these that you play, the FIFA and all that, in game AI, we just have to make the character look intelligent for you within the world. So all these characters, things that you see in video games, they are all AI simulations, right? And the thing about simulations is that they make you learn ahead before you practice in real life. And this has been a big conflict between game AI programmers and robotic programmers, because robotics have to be intelligent. Games have to make it look intelligent. So, but when it comes into now that AI has come in, it's replacing a lot of things, because all these characters, all these pictures that you see can be drawn by AI. This character that you see was drawn by our artist. But now, when we are making games, you can use an AI to generate a concept art for you without needing an artist. So there's a cry that, hey, concept artist, AI is replacing jobs, which is one of the threats. But is it going to replace? I feel that it's a no, right? It's just, you need to see AI as a partner. So if you are an artist who is fighting AI, please, you are like the one who was fighting the first car that was made. Now, using horses, and when the car was introduced, you fought it. But now cars are everywhere. So please, you need to see AI as a partner and use it as a tool to enhance your creativity, strategic decision-making, and also innovate. So when you use AI as a partner, you can leverage on it, as the previous speakers have said. And one of the things that you have to do is to understand what it is. Once you understand its capabilities, you can make use of it in any form. Like, it recognizes patterns very well. It can predict and strategize for you. It can actually automate routines. And at Leti Arts, we use AI a lot. We use AI to adapt learning. And I think Vinod will use that in his tool very much, right? If you are playing a trivia quiz or you are playing a certain game and the person is getting it wrong, you try to give him easy questions and study the pace. If you go very fast, we give you the hard questions. So AI is able to create personalized gaming experiences, which we use a lot in our video games. And we also use it to look at user engagement and make the games better. And we also use it for simulations. A lot of leaders use, like Vodafone used to use one of our tools to train its new employees, right? Instead of taking a learning instructor, you play the game and then you know everything about the company. You can simulate the business. If you're a salesperson, you can go and sell and generate. So we put you in that simulation space. So if you are a leader, that's how you can make use of gaming tools and AI to actually make your processes better. So I can go on and on and on, but because of time, I'll just jump and conclude that should we be worried about AI? No, I think for me, we shouldn't be worried, but we should be careful, right? AI is only as intelligent as you, but the thing is, AI does what you tell it very well, right? It's a machine. It's not more intelligent than you, but it does what you tell it very well. So if you keep telling it a lot of things, it will do them very well. And that's when the existential risks comes in that have colored red, though I don't believe we are going to get there. But job displacement is real. Privacy and surveillance is also quite real because it can give out certain data that you don't tell it to give, right? And sometimes if it's skewed to a certain decision, it will be giving biased recommendations. So you just have to be careful. Don't trust it too much that it's all known because it's trained by human beings. So that is it for me. I'll just end with a short video of what we do in the company. Hi there. Welcome to Leti, where we bring you authentic Africa through meaningful games that genuinely excites you and stimulates your imagination. We've been doing this since 2009, forging Africa's legends through digital games and interactive comedy.
We develop compelling creative assets and content just to communicate and also position our product and company value.
My name is Robert and I'm the lead game developer here at Leti. Here at Leti, we believe in making rich and African-inspired games which retell African stories in a very rich and in an engaging format.
Hello everyone, I'm Joseph Asaya from June. I'm the lead software engineer here in Leti. So anything concerning the front end, back end, and also quality assurance of all our apps and games out there. I head all of them. I make sure everything is done right. Make sure everything is delivered for your entertainment.
We make sure all the creative arts are done, all the visuals that you see here. We produce so many works in terms of comic production, animation, 2D animation, 3D, and also game arts.
We put our games out there because they are play to learn games, they are play to earn games as well. And me being the manager of the community, what I do is that I go to the various schools, I go to the various communities and let them know about our games as well. Our teams are mind-blowing. They've developed awesome games like the African Legends, the Swift games, and the Puzzle Style. There are many other games as well that you can check out on our website. But guys, we give the games out there to the communities. We have various esports teams that test out our game. The likes of Play Province and 8 Gamers Esports. Wonderful gameplays are being done. They test the games out there and they give us feedback for us to continue developing more and better games for the community.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Oh my goodness. What are you, ladies and gentlemen, saying in the chat room? All right. Incredible, isn't it? All right. Shall we take some questions? Distinguished panelists, please, there are some questions in the chat room. So I'm going to let us just address them. So if Melisa or Vinod is ready, you could kindly start first. And then leaders, if you have a question, please pop up your hand and we can take some questions. All right, let's take like 2 questions and then we will go around for our panelists to answer the questions you're asking in voice. And also they are looking at the questions in the chat room and they will answer it all together as they take their turns. Ms. Gloria, please unmute yourself and please speak.
Hello, Dr. Kofi. Good evening.
Good to hear from our alumni. Hello.
Good to hear from you as well. My question goes to Eyram. Hi, Odiko of Leti Arts. I see you and thank you. I just wanted to find out, I think in your presentation, you said that we shouldn't be worried about AI, but we should be careful. But there's also a growing consensus that AI is going to take our jobs. Please, what do you have to say about that? Thank you.
Thank you very much. We take all the 3 questions, and then our distinguished panelists will take turns in answering. Mr. Salah, please kindly unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hey, hello, good afternoon, good evening. From wherever you're joining, I'm Tamsir Salah from the Gambia, currently in the Netherlands. So this is so amazing, to be honest. So, and then, yeah, it really surprised me that such things are happening in Africa, and it's so inspiring. Yeah, my quick question is like, do people have a plan to have some partnership with school authorities, especially to include this in the school curriculum at the grassroots level? Because it's really important that, you know, young people know about some of these issues, and when they grow up with this mindset, it can really, you know, broaden the aspect of some of these games. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we have Giselle from the UK. Kindly unmute yourself and please ask your question, Madam Giselle. Please unmute yourself. Good.
Hi. Yeah, it wasn't unmuting. It has done now. Thank you. Hi. A question for Eyram. I'm thinking of creating an online course for my work as a posture and movement expert. And I was just wondering, in your opinion, what software would you recommend in order to create an online course? I've heard of Course Factor. I need to look at it. But in terms of images, if you can recommend a software, what you would find useful in creating images.
Wonderful. Let's do the final one from Priscilla, please. Please unmute yourself and speak.
Okay, all right, thank you. I want to find out what measures have you put in place to ensure that AI doesn't produce fake news. Thank you. Because recently, I think in the US, there was a debate about government putting in place measures to ensure there's not much fake news. So I want to find out what we are doing, or what you are doing to ensure that it doesn't. I know it wouldn't be absolute, but what are some of the measures that, you know, the IT world is putting in place to ensure there's no fake news?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because of time, we take the final question from Jamaica. Professor Andrew Steele, please, from Jamaica, you have the final word. Please unmute yourself.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Dr. Kofi. My question is, how could we use artificial intelligence to advance the whole business of teaching Bible stories? Kids are in all different kind of imaging and TikTok and a whole lot of stuff that they're doing online that is capturing their attention. But how could we use this tool to present them with stories from the Bible in ways that they're captured by those stories? You know, that's basically it, with whatever else we could do to make it attractive and addictive, if we may. You know.
Very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, so let's start with the lady first. Let's start with Melisa. Please tackle as many of the questions you can. Then we go to Eyram, and Vinod, you have the final word. So let's start first with Melisa, please. Questions asked and questions in the chat room. Please go ahead.
Okay. I saw somebody posted on the chat room which tool to recommend for PowerPoint presentations. So what has happened with AI and its development? A lot of tools are being developed in the market. So you need to find one that really suits your implementation. For instance, PowerPoint presentation, the one I have always looked into is called present.ai. It's present spelled with a Z. It actually generates your PowerPoint presentation. You just tell it the topic and what you want to talk about and the number of slides you want to generate, and it automatically generates for you. The downside of most of these tools now is that you need to pay for them. So yeah, you need to also look at the pros and cons of whichever tool that you select, and then that's how you will adopt the one that works best for you. Maybe the last, if you can just recap on the last question, I think it's the one that I think I could answer.
There was a question about fake news. I think that was the last question. Was that there was one about fake
news? Yes.
Creating Bible stories,
fake news,
stories, and so on.
All right. So for making it captivating for the Bible stories, it is actually a great idea. It would take children off social media. It's using the best tools, incorporating. I really like the presentation from Eyram on the gaming. Gaming can work also to generate some of those apps where you can create it in such an exciting way that kids will want to go back to review all of those Bible stories and learn more about them through gamification. And that's how you can actually accomplish getting kids captivated and wanting to learn more. And it can be set up in a way that it's educational. And I'd recommend the gamification of those apps or platforms that will be developed for the little children to actually learn more and want to learn more and not be on social media and all of the platforms that we discouraged them from a number of times. And then last one is misinformation. Oh, wow. There is a lot of misinformation. So the understanding that I have on AI is AI is trained on models. So it's very important that when you are using certain platforms or accessing certain AI models that you use, for instance, we look at how those models are being trained. We've got Google that's doing research. We've got OpenAI that's doing research and is training its models. What we have adapted to doing as Chatcash, we are capturing relevant information about an organization. We don't leave it open-ended for anyone to consume. We have to control it in such a way that it will be volume of data that you feed it with, but it can then streamline from what information you share with it. Similarly, with the models that are being used, you can actually research on how the models have been updated. Are they up to date? Who has developed them? You can actually do a background check on all of that. And also, it doesn't necessarily mean that all of the information that we get from AI, especially on the generative AI, where you request for information is valid. You, as a user of that platform, need to validate all of the information that is shared, and that is very critical. Thank you so much.
Very well said. Thank you so much. I mean, so many interesting questions. I have my brother from Zimbabwe asking us, how do we ensure that AI does not produce lazy people? Well, I don't have the answer. These are the experts. All right. To Mr. Eyram, please do kindly address as many of the questions that you can. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. So I think I'll start from the first, which is we should be careful, not worried, but be careful, and they are taking our jobs. So why don't we have to be worried? So what I mean about that is, because AI is a machine, you should be careful. Those who have to be worried are those in jobs that are measured. Anything which is calculated will be replaced by AI. That one, it's replaced already. If you are in a job with a repetitive cycle and like the robots building the cars and fixing cars, those are engineering methods. And those who use AI or make it better. They just want to make they are just making their processes simpler, right? So you have to upgrade yourself into the creative space. Where we are being careful is that AI is now entering the creative space, which is worrying, right? It has moved from the measured field. So fields, mathematicians, please, AI is going to replace anything which is calculated. AI has replaced because it's very fast in calculating. But artists, story writers, poets, AI has even dipped its legs into music. So you can see people are saying beats are made by AI. Oh, because music is also mathematical. It's also, if you are a programmer, you see beats are created from numbers, right? So though it's making our jobs easier, we have to upgrade to learn how to use it. So people like Dr. Vinod's platform that is teaching new methods, or we need to put in top-up courses, and there should be an upgrade bubble one time for everyone. If you are an artist, you may have to upgrade your skill how to use AI to enhance your work. Because my concept artist now, we've made our first project where all concept arts came from AI. So the concept artist didn't have to draw them again. He rather took inspiration from the AI, chose his color palettes, and then built a new world for himself. So now he's learning how to use the AI. I have some examples on the slides, but because of time, I didn't show. So that is where I am saying that truth is to be worried, but just be careful. The careful bit is to move with it, right? And train it the way that you can still be relevant in your work space. So I'm a lecturer at Ashesi. I use ChatGPT to generate my lecture structure, my speech structure. I always make use of it. So my PA is free from generating those things, but the PA is now have to read what the AI has done for me to make sure that the facts are right. Because some of the AI, when I say write about Eyram, the game examples it says that Eyram has made, I haven't made them. So that is how AI lies. AI will say Eyram has made Aboki Run. Aboki Run was made by Malio Games, not me, right? So that is where you can fact check. So just to answer the fact checked questions, AI is not always right. It is only right with the language models that it's been trained on. So once you correct it to say that, hey, Eyram made African Surgeons, not Aboki Run, then it now knows it. Then the next person who searches or who writes about Eyram, it will write the right thing. So you still need to train it. Then once it knows, it doesn't make mistakes. So just have that in mind. The next one is with the Bible. Yes, the Bible bit is also very important. I use a lot of AI to teach my kids when they come from Sunday school and how to explain some of the Bible concepts. Even now, after this call, I need to move to the screening of our David and Goliath, Black David and Goliath animation, because we are coming up with a game for Sunday schools, which Black characters are the ones moving or teaching the story, because we still have white Jesuses in our room. So we think Jesus didn't have blue eyes, right? So we want to dive into the religious space too with some representation. So I think that is also ongoing, and we can collaborate on this platform to make that work. Then the last is the tools for images. Yes, there are the technical tools who have also put in AI. If you have a graphic designer or you want to learn some graphics yourself, you can follow on Photoshop. It has become super easy now, and the Illustrator as well. However, the best AI image generation tools now are the Midjourney. Midjourney is very good at generating images, better than DALL-E. However, currently one of my guys is using the Bing AI in Skype, which is pretty accurate. It's bringing out some really good imagery in AI. So you can check that one out. But the technical tools, I'll also take your contact and connect you with my lead artist. He knows a lot of these tools, and then he can give you more direction on that as well. So I think that's where I'll end.
What an incredible panelist we have. All right, and to Mr. Vinod himself, please, what are your thoughts on the questions that have been raised? And I hope one of you would have touched on, can AI address real world problems like poverty, climate change, and all of that? Mr. Vinod, please. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I've been so inspired by Eyram and Melisa and the incredible work that you're doing. It's absolutely amazing. I want to talk mostly about children because there were a bunch of questions about children. And so one question was, how do we teach our children AI in the schools? How does schools work with AI? And I can tell you that I'm in on a lot of meetings of teacher training on AI. And I can tell you that it's the same as the internet and that mobile technology and software. The children already know AI. It's us adults that are the problem. The children are already using ChatGPT every day on their phones. They're already using when they use Snapchat and all. They're already doing image creation. They're already doing voice and text to speech and everything else. It's often our adults who are behind. And Eyram said something absolutely true, which is think of cars. When the first car came out, they said, should we really have cars? But really, we can't really ask that question anymore. And I think it's too late to ask the question, should we have AI? It's too late. And the way children think about AI is, hey, it's a reality. How do I deal with it? Whereas adults start with, oh, this is not good. This changed. It's going to take my job. It's going to do this bad and that bad. And so I think when we're teaching children, we also have to teach ourselves, the teachers and the administrators of the school, about AI. And it's very difficult. It's a lot harder than teaching the children. Also, there was a question from Peter about refugees. How can we get refugee children to be creative, in a very tough environment? And we work in refugee camps all around the world. And I can tell you that the key is to use the new tools, especially mobile-based, smartphone-based tools, to get children creating content, not just memorizing things, creating content like video games, like Eyram had. Children today can create video, can create audio, can create interactive games, can create text and books. So get children wherever they are, refugee camp, areas in poverty, crisis, get children creating things and then publishing them. Guess what? In the old days, you couldn't publish anything. Now, just put something up on social media or on YouTube. The whole world can see it, right? So get children creating and get it all out there, right? Also, someone was talking about how do I work with my own children, with AI, and what I would say is, look, ChatGPT is the new Google, right? ChatGPT is the new Google. First time we all used Google, we were not very good at it. And now we're really good at it. And generative AI, you get good at creating these prompts. Start playing with this stuff with your children. Say, hey, why don't we go on ChatGPT and figure out things that we can do in our area for fun, and maybe we can go out on a picnic. Maybe we can go to the river and do some sports or something. So start using AI with your children, especially things like ChatGPT. And then a final thing I would say is people are all talking about fear and being afraid and all the problems that can happen. But I think we also have to look at all the amazing things that could happen and how we can help people learn, how we can help people grow. So I like to also look at the cup half full. There's some amazing things ahead. Our children are going to be the experts on it, but we get to watch. So thank you very much. It's been a joy to be here and share with you.
Just beautiful, just beautiful. So we take your final words in 1 minute. What's your final advice to leaders? I'm going to start with Vinod. We go to Melisa, and then Eyram, you have the final word. What are your final words for leaders around the world? We have leaders literally from 5 continents. What do you have to say to them, and how can they reach you, you know, with all the amazing things that you all do, coming to solving human problems from all of these different perspectives?
Yeah. If you would need to reach me, I've put in my chat, my LinkedIn and my email. I'll put it again. First, all I would say to all of you is put your toe in the water, get started, start small, start doing something. Do a project on ChatGPT. It's easy, it's free. Get out there, start doing projects. Get the most creative person in your organization who likes to try new things. Give them a small project. Let them be successful with it. Let them fail with it. Experiment, play with it. You know, we would not have, you know, reached 3 million people if we were timid in the beginning. We had to fail a lot. And try something. Get started. That's the main thing. Don't just sit on the sidelines and complain about AI. Get in there. Start using it. Start understanding it. Thank you.
Melisa.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much. With AI, I want to encourage everyone that AI is here to stay. It's by its nature, it has a capacity to learn, so it can adapt to whatever environment and whatever changes that are going to come. So it's going to be there for a very long time, and it's going to evolve as we are evolving as humans. It will also evolve, and for the benefit of leaders, AI. View AI as your a tool that can enhance your leadership. And once you embrace it, you can then identify areas which you can apply it to and solve real world problems, solve organizational problems, solve social problems. And that's how you can adopt with the AI trends and use it to your advantages. Thank you.
The games man, what do you have to say? What's your advice for leaders? Should we all start playing?
Yes, I think first you should all download the games and play, and I'll put my LinkedIn also on the chat. But what I have to say has been already said. Start doing. Encourage your employees or your friends to use AI. For me, AI doesn't make you lazy. It makes you smarter. The one who knows how to prompt an AI is the one who would start eating for the future. And I think you need to be smart. A friend of mine taught me how to generate images with an AI by telling the AI to give you the best prompt that will generate this image in another image AI. And since then, when I'm generating an image, I go to ChatGPT. How can I generate an image of Ahmad Duncan mixed with Dr. Kofi in Midjourney? It will give it to you. So you just have to copy it and paste it into Midjourney, and you have your image, right? So this is how smart you can be using the AI tool, and you always be ahead of your peers if you start using it now. So please, I hope this panel discussion has been very fruitful, and please, let's get dirty, let's get working, let's use AI as a partner. Thank you.
Leaders, please, in the chat room, standing ovations for all of these amazing leaders. Oh my goodness. So these guys can use AI to generate me and the person that looks like me. That's not right. That's not fair, but that's exciting. All right, here at PALI, it takes a whole village to say thank you. We just want to go to the giant of Africa. This is the giant of Africa. It's the nation of Nigeria. And he is one of our distinguished award-winning PALI alumni. And he's in the person of the Air Vice Marshal, Dr. Babatunde Phillips. And I don't know whether he's going to take AI, into piloting and jet fighting, but you are the boss, sir. Please help us say thank you. And I know you're bringing us some PALI announcements as we get ready into the final stage of our conversations today. Stay glued, leaders. Over to you, the Air Vice Marshal.